You're the workhorse, the one who runs the playbook because you don't fully trust anyone else to run it right. And it has worked. Promotions, results, reputation. But lately your best people have started to dim a little. The room got quieter. The ceiling feels closer. So when I tell you the Knicks just made the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999, and they did it by firing a head coach who got them their best season in 25 years, I want you to feel that. What I'm naming today is the trap of competence. The trap of competence is the moment that your strongest leadership trait, the one you built your whole career, becomes the very thing creating your ceiling. The trap of competence is not incompetence. You're not bad at your job. You're too good at the one shape you've always taken. 3 signs you're in that shape. You can't delegate without quietly redoing the work. Your people have stopped offering ideas because you always have one ready. You're proud of how hard you work and quietly resentful that nobody else works as hard as you. That third one is the tell. A client of mine took over a regional team last year. Within 6 months, the numbers were up. Real numbers. She told me, "Kara, I have never been more proud of my team's results." 3 weeks later, she came back and said, "My second in command put in for a transfer." She asked her why. The answer she got was, "I can't grow under you. You move too fast for anyone to catch up." That hit. That's the trap of competence in one sentence. If that one stung like it did for me, take it somewhere safe. Dr. Kara's virtual mind. This is the closest thing that I can give you to a private conversation with me when you can't sleep. The link is in the description. Here's the part I can't stop thinking about with the Knicks. Tom Thibodeau got that team to their first Eastern Conference Finals in 25 years. By every metric the world celebrates in a leader, he won. Hard work, discipline, defense, a real result. And James Dolan fired him anyway. Reporters who covered it said the front office felt his hard-driving style wore down the players. The same intensity that won him the season was costing him the championship. So they hired Mike Brown. Brown has been an NBA coach for 2 decades, but he had not coached in a final since 2007. That's 19 years, the longest gap in an NBA history. Brown's whole pitch is different. He talks about 4 things: communication, accountability, commitment, and trust. And the Knicks just won 11 games in a row to make finals. Let that pattern land. The person who proved he could win was not the person who could win bigger. Not because he was wrong, but because the thing that he was best had become the thing that was holding him back from the next level. I see leaders I work with every week. The director who can't get promoted to VP because she runs her team like she ran her own portfolio. The VP who can't break into the C-suite because his grip is too tight to let anyone else carry weight. Same shape, different jersey. Here's where connected leadership shifts. Picture a basketball pivot, a real one. The player has the ball. One foot is planted on the floor, the other is free to move. That planted foot is your purpose, your values, which you will not compromise on. The other foot is your style, how you lead, how you communicate. The pivot is the move you make when defense changes. You don't give up the ball. You do not abandon the post. You keep one foot planted and you let the other foot find a new path. Most leaders confuse the two. They think the planted foot is their style. They think changing how they lead means giving up who they are. So they plant both feet. They go rigid. And then they wonder why the game stops moving. That's where respond comes in. The third step in my receive, perceive, respond method. Respond is the intentional move that you make from clarity instead of grip. Mike Brown did not abandon the standard. He kept one foot planted on accountability and let the other foot move into trust. That's the pivot. That is the shift. What looks like in practice for you is small. Tomorrow morning in the meeting where you would normally jump in with that answer, plant your foot. Wait 6 seconds. Take a beat and then move the other foot. The data that you'll receive in those 6 seconds is the data that was missed and that Brown built a finals run on. That's the whole opening move. If you want to know which foot you tend to plant when the pressure rises and which foot you've been refusing to move, then take Dr. Kara's Leadership Origin Profile. It's free. It tells you the leadership shape that you've been holding long before you had the title. Leadership without reflection becomes reaction. Know your worth, know your truth, and know when to pivot. I'm Dr. Kara. Connect to yourself so that you can elevate and expand for yourself and those you lead.